welcome back to my channel. We have such a crazy video today. I got 36 books for my 26th birthday, so we have just a giant book haul today. Some of these were sent from publishers and some of these were sent from some incredibly kind people that I've met on Book Talk who sent me a gift for my birthday, which is so sweet. So we're going to go through every single one of them and I'll tell you how I got them and what they're about. I went ahead and grouped these into categories. The first category that we are going to go through are fantasy books. The first book I'm so excited for, it is called Bakers and Magic, and this is book 1 in a series. It is compared to The Hobbit meets the Great British Bake Off, and I've been obsessed with watching the Great British Bake Off recently, so this seems like right up my alley. It looks like a very cozy fantasy. It gives me Legends and Lattes vibes, and I loved that book so much. The little blurb on the back says a human, a dwarf, and an elf walk into a bake-off, ... and then it's got lots of other stuff in there, and it just looks adorable. This one also was fun because it came with some art prints, which I always think is exciting. So, oops, wrong way. There they are. Very cool. This one was sent from the publisher, and then the next two are as well. These ones were from Bramble Books, which is an imprint of Tor, and these look so good. We have Gothic Hana, and then we have Remedial Magic. Remedial Magic is like a witchy book, and it says it's like The Magicians meets One Last Stop. It says this is about an unassuming librarian who, 1, has fallen in love with a powerful witch, 2, has discovered that she is a witch, and 3, must attend magical community college to learn how to save her new world from complete destruction. It sounds like it's going to be like a fun, high-stakes, like romance witchy book, and it just looks so cute. And then Gothic Hana has like the most eerie looking cover ever. I'm obsessed with it. It says an unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle, what could go wrong? I'm assuming a lot is going to go wrong just based off of how eerie and crazy this cover looks. This is a bit on the thicker side. I'm very excited for this one. It is, ooh, I was just going to flip and see how many pages there are. Is that going to be like, yeah, wait, this is so fun. There's like drawings in the book. And I also heard somebody commented on my TikTok that there is like a really beautiful edition of this on Amazon that's like a hardcover like special edition. So I'm gonna have to check that out because this is already like so gorgeous. By the way, Remedial Magic comes out in February of 2024 and then Gothic Hana comes out in January of 2024. The next one looks like a really fun romantasy book. It's called Lore of the Wilds, and it says this is a stunning romantasy debut about an enchanted library, 2 handsome fae, and 1 human who brings them all together. I love books about books, so the fact that this one, as well as the Remedial Magic, both are about like a librarian is so much fun to me, so I can't wait for this one. This one comes out on the 24th of February. Next, my amazing friend Tiffany was nice enough to get me The Vengeance of the Pirate Queen, which is part of this YA like pirate series, and they have the most stunning like sprayed edges. I have all 3 books in the series now, and I'm just obsessed with that. Like, that is so beautiful. So I can't wait to read this. It's part of the Daughter of the Pirate King series, and I haven't read any of them yet, but it's definitely high up on my TBR. Then this was so kind, so I actually got both books in this 2 Twisted Crowns series. It's One Dark Window and 2 Twisted Crowns. I've heard such good things about this. I've heard this is like a kind of complicated fantasy book, but I've read Brandon Sanderson, so I feel like this won't be that complicated, but we'll see. I've heard they're so good, and I'm choosing to go in mostly blind for these ones. These ones were sent from Autumn, which was so kind. I'm so thankful for these. And then from the publisher, I was sent A Power Unbound. I don't know a ton about this book because it is book 3 in a series, and I don't want to know a ton about what happens in this book because I want to read the first 2 books first, but this one was sent from, for some reason it's not on the hardcover, but it is from Tor, so I'm excited to read this whole series, but I do need to read those first 2 books before I can dive into this one. Next up is just this absolutely stunning copy of The Cruel Prince. This is gorgeous. This is from Amazon, so it's not even like something like Fairy Loot or something you can't find, but like even the back of this box, so beautiful. It is like a velvety finish with like shimmery underlay, and then it is black sprayed edges too. I'm obsessed with this, so highly recommend if you liked The Cruel Prince. I actually haven't read this book yet, and I didn't have a copy of it, so I was like, if I'm gonna get a copy of this book, I'm gonna want it to be this beautiful copy. So this one is from V. Thank you so much, V. The last fantasy book I got was actually just for myself. I had ordered this and I didn't know which package it was, so I saved it for my birthday book mail. So 4th thing I did purchase myself. This is like the holiday special edition one. I have read this already. I really like this book, and I'm waiting on my Iron Flame copy now. It got delayed in the mail, so hopefully this one will come soon. That was all of the fantasy books. Let's move on to thrillers next. I choose to go into most of my thrillers blind, so you're not going to get a ton of synopsis from these ones, but we have The Engagement Party, which looks like it's going to be like a locked door kind of like island thriller where everyone's stuck. It says the guest list is a real killer. I love this type of book. Yes, they can get repetitive, but they're just always so much fun, so I cannot wait for this one. This is by the same author as the Pretty Little Wife book, and I'm very excited. This one comes out early in December, I believe, and this one was sent by the publisher. Then V was nice enough to send me Keep Your Friends Close, which is the new Lucinda Berry book. I love her writing so much, so I'm so excited. I think this is more of like a thriller book of hers rather than like I don't know, the psychological books that she writes, like Saving Noah and The Appetite for Innocence. Those I love too, but I'm excited to dive into like a thriller of hers. These next two are sent from Haley. We have The Cabin at the End of the World and Don't Look for Me. These are both thrillers as well. The covers look so eerie and I cannot wait to dive into these. I've heard such good things and I just can't wait to go in blind and just be along for the ride for those. And then Atria Mystery Bus, the publisher, sent me The Year of the Locust, which is the I Am Pilgrim author who came back after 10 years and finally wrote his second book. This book is huge. Thankfully I've read Brandon Sanderson and I'm prepared for books this size, but like this is an 800-page book almost, which is absolutely insane for a thriller. This will be my first spy thriller, so I'm very intrigued, I'm very nervous, but I hope that I really like it. And then the next book is His and Hers, which I'm buddy reading with somebody in December. I'm so excited for this. I've heard such good things about this book, and I didn't love Alice Feeney's other book, is it called The Guest List? No, Daisy Darker? Yeah, Daisy Darker. Alice Feeney's Daisy Darker. The Guest List is Lucy Foley. I didn't really love either of those books, so I was kind of confusing who wrote which. I'm excited for this, though. I've heard some of her other books are different than that one, so I can't wait to read this one. Melissa was nice enough to send me this one, as well as You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. This will be my first Geneva Rose. I think I have two of her books now, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to read first, but I've heard this is absolutely crazy and twisty and insane, so I can't wait to read her writing. I have heard that she's like the queen of thrillers, so I'll be the judge of that. Ruth Ware is my queen of thrillers, so I don't think she'll ever like be kicked off the throne there, but we'll see. And then the next three are all from publishers. We have Here in the Dark, which is a thriller. We have Everyone Who Can Forgive Me Is Dead, which sounds kind of crazy, and I really love the cover of this one. By the way, this one comes out in December, and this one comes out in February. And then the last ARC thriller that we have comes out in February, and it's called Leave No Trace. This one says it's a mystery, so not necessarily a thriller, but a good mystery book. Alright, the second last stack we have is romance books. The first one is The Off Limits Rule, and I cannot wait to read this one because Sarah Adams, I love her book so much. She writes, oh my goodness, I'm gonna totally blank whenever I say like they write and then I like want my brain to come up with it. It just never actually happens. I'm gonna cheat over here. No, it's not on my shelf. When in Rome. Okay, that took me too long. I did not look it up though. I figured it out. It's called When in Rome. And then there's another book after that, and I can't think of it, but I've read them both and I love them. It was a series that Sarah Adams wrote, and they're phenomenal. Embarrassing that I can't remember it because I read it just like a couple months ago, but I can't wait to read this one. I'm obsessed with the cover. I love this color purple so much, so I think this is going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited. This one is sent to me by Jensen, as well as The Love Wager, which will be my first Lynn Painter I read. She writes YA romance, and I can't wait. I hear they're just absolutely adorable and like super wholesome, and I feel like sometimes I need a read like that, especially after like a heavy fantasy book or like a really dark thriller. I need something just like light and airy and breezy and easy to read, so I'm very excited to have this one. Then I had Twisted Lies sent from Priscilla, and I'm very excited to have this, although I was floored when I opened this because this is huge. I've read Twisted Love, and it's like a normal 300-page romance. This is 550 pages. Like, that's absolutely insane. I've heard it's really good, though. It's a slow burn romance, so I'm, like, scared of this. I'm very frightened, but I have high hopes, and I hope it's really good. And then sent to me by the publisher, we have Main Character Energy. I actually don't think this is, like, necessarily a thriller. It's about this girl who's trying to, like, become the main character in her life again, and she's, like, an author, but she hasn't been writing, and so she's given a challenge to, like, have to write her next novel by a certain date, and if she does so, I think she, like, inherits from, like, a relative, a villa of some kind, so she has like really high stakes on having to write, and she kind of just learns to become like the main character in her own story again, so it looks very interesting. I don't know why I have it in the romance category. I think it's supposed to be in my next category, but that's okay. And then the next one that is a romance is called The Graham Effect. This is by Elle Kennedy. I am also shocked that this one's so big. I'm excited for this, but also intimidated, and this one just came out. It's part of her new series. I think this is book 1 in this like soon-to-be series. This one was from Kristen, and then the next one's from V. We have Vacation Wars, which I'm very excited to take with me on my vacation to Florida next month because it looks just perfect for this. This will be my first Megan Quinn book. I feel like I got so many books that will be like my first of a certain author, and I'm very excited. I know this is like a romance of sorts, and I kind of want to go in blind because I feel like it's just going to be a really fun book. The next two are both romance that are in the like Christmassy category, which I absolutely love. We have A Merry Little Meet Cute. I have book 2 in the series, so I was so excited to get book 1 from Heather because I of course couldn't read book 2 without book 1, so now I can read both of these books in time for Christmas this year. It looks absolutely adorable, and I love the cover so much. I'm not like the biggest pink person, but for some reason I'm obsessed with this cover, like the pink and the red and the green. It just screams Christmas in the best of ways. And then we also have A Winter in New York, which Haley sent me. I'm so excited. This is the same author as One Day in December, and I hope to read both the One Day in December book and this book in time for Christmas. This looks so cute. She said that it's obviously a romance set in New York, which she really loves, so I can't wait to read this, and it just looks so adorable. Then Jess was nice enough to send Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I have heard nothing but good things about this book, to the point that I'm like intimidated to read it because I have like such high hopes for it, but I also feel like I'm going to be set up to be like disappointed because I hear, again, I've never heard anyone not like this book. So I really hope I'm in the same crowd of people who love this book. It looks really cute. I love all the like purple flowers on this cover. Second to last romance is Never Wager with a Wallflower. This was sent from the publisher. This one is a historical romance, so I'm very intrigued because the cover doesn't really like scream historical romance, so I think this will be very good. I'm excited to read it. And then the last romance book I got is Travis by Mia Sheridan. This is the same author as Archer's Voice, and this is book 2 in that series. I loved Archer's Voice so much, and I'm very excited for this. I think based on what I remember from a long time ago, that this book makes you not hate one of the other characters as much when you read it, and I'm intrigued because there's a character that I like obviously hated in the first book that I think is gonna have like a redemption story here, so I'm intrigued by that. Okay, we have one last category, and this is just a miscellaneous category. So when Atrium Mystery Bus sent the Year of the Locust book, they also sent this book called The Purest Bond, which is a book about the human-canine connection, and it's because they love my dog Onyx like everybody else on TikTok. And so this looks adorable. I'm obsessed. This is my favorite color, blue, so I love this so much, and I'm excited to give this a read. Next in the miscellaneous category, we have Maybe Next Time, which is about this like woman who witnesses her husband die, and then she gets sent back to the beginning of that day. That day was like a horrible day all around, so she's in a time loop where she keeps waking up on this like terrible Monday and having to try to like change her life choices to figure out how she can stop her husband from dying. And it sounds very fun and very interesting, and I don't know, I read one time loop, it was a thriller. This one's not a thriller, but I really liked that time loop book, so I think that this will be very good. And then the next one is I Didn't Know I Needed This, which says the new rules for flirting, feeling, and finding yourself. And it says it's like on the back it says something about like romance tips and dating tips. Very interesting. It's by this girl who is like super popular on TikTok, so I know this book's going to be hugely popular. I'll probably give this a read, although I am engaged, so I don't really need the like dating tips, but it sounds very interesting. These last two, that was obviously sent by the publisher, by the way, and it comes out on the 23rd of December. And then these two were also sent from publishers. This is The Manicurist's Daughter, which is a memoir, and I'm super intrigued by like the neon sign like cover of this one. And then I need to just Google how to pronounce this, but I'm just probably not going to. Prima Facie, I don't know. This one I think is going to be a thriller because it's blurbed by Karen Slaughter. Looks very interesting and intriguing. This one comes out in January of next year. And that's all of them. I'm not going to even attempt to pick all of these up, but thanks for watching this giant birthday haul. 36 books for my 26th birthday is absolutely insane. I did not expect this. I didn't even like know how to fathom it. I'm so thankful for all of these, and I can't wait. Now that I'm done filming this video, I can go like sort these and put them away on my bookshelf. So huge thank you to anybody who sent me something for my birthday. It was so sweet, and it absolutely made my birthday so special.